Hey everybody, Robert with RC Archery. So, realized the other day, or actually even this morning, that I haven't been filming any of the stuff that I'm doing with the bows. So I've been slacking, I guess. So, testing out the Hoyt HyperEdge and really just kind of comparing it to the Podium X Elite, which has been my bow, that my sole bow for the past couple years now. So just trying to see the differences between the two. On paper, they're kind of similar. They're not, too far off. There's, even the initial review that I did, there's a little bit even more that's similar to it as far as string angle goes. With the way that Hoyt's built the DFX cam, a little bit bigger cam, and a different profile on it to make it make the axle to axle feel longer than what it really is with the string angle. So it's actually really similar to that Podium. Holding them both, shooting them both, string angle wise, fitment wise, they're very similar. They feel the same that way, but the actual shooting part of it, the way that they need to be tuned up, the way that I'm setting them up, everything like that is a lot different. So just kind of wanting to go through that a little bit more with you, let you see everything, kind of do a review for you that way. I've got my Podium X Elite out today, so I will be putting that up to kind of show you what's going on with it and talk through some more stuff and let you see how it is on the way. Alright guys, so I'm going to do this more of a vlog format than anything. It's not going to be like a full-on review like some of the other ones, just because some days I just want to talk. I just want to get the information out, show you what I'm doing for the day, kind of make it a fun video. So Hoyt Podium X Elite 37 is back. This is the one that I long strung, number 2 cam that I got, 27.5 long strung out to a little bit over 28. Roughly 28.25 is what the AMO comes out to. So resetting everything up on here, I'm pretty close to completely finished. I got a little bit of movement I got to do in the string, so let's talk about it. Basically what you've seen in the past from my Podium, and some people have already mentioned it, they'll say, hey, your form looks different, what was going on, what'd you do before, what's different than now? So little differences was, I like to try everything out. I want to know what's going to happen with the bows and what's going to happen with your form and what things look like so that I can help people. And also, I'm just like everybody else, I'm always looking to get to that next level, always wanting to see if something that I can do on my bow is going to help and do something different. So, tried completely different shooting forms, and I actually went a whole long way and tried a whole bunch of stuff. But what I was doing was I was having it very backwards weighted on the bow. So I had a loop that was really high up, giving me a lot of leverage over the top of the bow to pull back. I had a lot of weight on the back stabilizer compared to the front. It was like a 1-to-3 ratio, and basically when I would hold the bow up at brace with nothing in it, it would sit just level and tilt back a little bit in my hand. And then when I was holding it at full draw, I wasn't pulling really hard, I wasn't doing anything other than just kind of sitting there pretty static at full draw. The higher loop, theoretically was going to help me hold it up on target better. More back weight on the stabilizer, same thing, helped me hold it up. So I tried that out. It didn't work for me. I know there's some people that run that setup and it works really good for them. I wanted to see if it would for me, but it just, nothing, maybe I just shot the opposite way for so long and just wasn't working for me. But went back to the way that it was. What I was doing was having to relax everything really big on my bow arm, and my arm was just dropping like a rock as soon as a shot would hit. And a lot of times I was missing low, and sometimes I was missing really high because it'd start dropping down below out of the dot, and then I had to rip it up to come back up on top of the target. So that was what I was working with. Decided to just say to heck with that and go back to what I was used to. So that's what I'm doing here. I reset everything up on the string. Got everything the right level again. Basically what I'm doing is with the small carbon 1 or X10 or whatever it is, a small arrow like that, when I put it in there, it's just kind of eclipsing the burger button hole. So the bottom when I put the arrow in there, I can see a little bit of the bottom, I can see a little bit of the top, so it's pretty much right in there. That's the way I've always set them up. That's always what's worked best for me height-wise on this geometry type bow, so like this, the Vantage Elite, all that. Pro Comp Elite was a little bit different because it was different handle height, but that's the way it worked for me. Went back to a 1-to-2 ratio. It's heavier on the front, it's going to tilt forward. I pull through my shot, I push and pull at the same time, somewhat aggressively compared to some other archers that I've talked to that have that same type of shot. What I found with the 70% let off cam is that I hold about 17 pounds, and that helps me get settled into anchor and helps me get settled into my shot, and I like that a lot better. And then from that point I expand and push out, and I pull and work through my shot like that, and I probably add 5 pounds at least, if I had to guess, maybe a little bit more when I'm doing it. And all I'm doing off of that is basing it off of the way the old holding weights used to be. So when I ran these cams at 65%, I was holding about 22 pounds. And with that, I would settle into anchor, and I would start my push and my pull, and I wouldn't push and pull, I wouldn't create much over that weight-wise to see my body settle up. What it was causing me to do was having to work too hard to get into my anchor, and I would be a little bit less steady, you know, trying to get my dot on target and get started on my shot. So this is the best of both worlds for me. It also allows me to have a little bit less aggressive cam. It feels like it's fighting me and pulling against me the whole time, so I like that a lot better. So I am fixing the draw length and getting it perfect in relation to the way that the Peep is set up. So I'm going to measure this. I was messing with it the other night. I'm pretty sure the draw length is set, but I want to look for sure on peak weight and holding weight to see if I'm going to move, how I'm going to do it. So I know I got to put a little bit of a twist, maybe a half twist up here in the top is going to settle this Peep where I need it to be. I like it to be straight coming back or just a little bit off to the right, and that's because I want my loop to be straight or a little bit off to the right. It makes it easier for me to hook my release into it. I hate it when my loop's sitting like this and I got to pull the bow around. I hate that. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I will probably end up taking a little bit of that twist out to line the Peep and then messing with my limbs from there. Yeah, so right now that's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. Just a little bit over 56 and a half pounds peak weight. I'd put a little bit of a twist in there messing with draw length before, so this should hopefully come out a little bit over where I need it to be, and that way I can put that twist in there and it'll all work. And actually no, it's spot on, so spot on draw length where I need it to be, so I'm going to have to fix it a little bit. I'm going to put the, start messing with the twist and see what I can do with it to work it out the way that I want it to. Forget which way both top and the bottom twist on here, so we'll see. Alright guys, move the camera around a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with the press. Maybe that'll be kind of fun for you. So press everything down here. I want to see the direction of the twist on the string. This top part, there's less material obviously from the Peep up, so this top one should be a little bit finer of an adjustment. I just want to see how much it's going to be and what it's doing. So I need the Peep to go out, so I'm going to let one twist, or one half twist rather, out. I really hate doing half twists, but it's still a relatively new string on this one. I've only had this on the bow maybe 20 shots now, so it's seating in. It's not horrible on the way it's all working. So check everything, make sure all the pegs and loops and everything is still on it where it needs to be. Let's see what it changed. So I actually moved it too much, so I'm going to take the half twist out, or I'm going to put it back in there, and then I'm going to try the bottom. Really just see which one lines up the best for me. Start trying to work with it like that. I want to try to move this the least amount that I can, because it means that I'm going to have differences, you know, on what I do. So I'm either going to be working with my limb bolts to get the draw link back the way that I want it to, or maybe the cables. Because I really want to try to focus on getting the draw link really close and getting the Peep and everything rotated around the way that I want it to. So same thing here, half twist. I'm actually put a half twist in, which theoretically should work okay. It's going to shorten the draw link down some, but I'm a little bit over what I necessarily have to be on draw weight, so I can take that turn back out like I wanted, and that looks like it may line up perfect. So at the moment it's lining up perfectly. I've got my target here. I'm going to take a couple shots to seat everything back in after moving it around, and just see it, you know, how it moves, what it moves, anything like that, and see what it does from there. I've got target lined up here. If it'll stay like that, and then I can adjust the limb bolts, or, oh, it's short. Maybe moving too much. Let's see. Sometimes it's play around with it. I may move the bottom one half a twist like that, and then I may go back and move the top one again. So it's settled down in there after that one shot. It didn't move again after that, but it did move more than I really wanted it to. So we'll keep playing with it from there.